Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Toya Maria J. It's your girl Toya, and in this video we'll be talking again about money, specifically if you're living paycheck to paycheck. So in this video I have 5 tips for you if you want to come out of that situation or reduce the impact of that situation. So you may want to stay tuned to the end because I have a bonus tip that is really important and I think that would be beneficial to you. So stay tuned. So what does it really mean to be living paycheck to paycheck? It means that as soon as the money comes in, it just goes out by any means, or by bills, by this, by that, and you have to wait till the next pay cycle to have some kind of income or to have some kind of money in your pocket. You just don't have anything to spare, really. So that's what it means. And there are actually things that you can do, and there are simple things, but maybe because you haven't really thought about these, and these are some of the things that I'll be discussing in these videos, simple little things, you haven't really been thinking about it, or you're just stuck in the mentality that you're stuck in the habit of saying, this is what I'll do until I can earn some kind of income or more income. And that's not necessarily true, because the Bible told us who can be trusted with little can be trusted with much. So if you can't work to balance the little that you have now, trust me, you'll have problems balancing the much that you'll gain later on, or the additional income that you have. Without further ado, let's just get right into the video. So tip number 1, and as I mentioned, there are simple little things, so don't go rolling your eyes now or whatnot. It's things that you may say it's true or something of that sort. But tip number 1, do not go to the supermarket if you're hungry. If you are living paycheck to paycheck, you barely have enough, you feel like you barely have enough, do not ensure that you eat something your belly full when you're going to shop. Go to the supermarket with a full stomach. How many times, and let me speak in terms of me. I don't really have a sweet tooth, but when I go to the supermarket and I'm hungry, I'm looking at muffins, I'm looking at chocolate, I'm looking at all these kind of things, because my belly a roll, right? And I need something to satisfy that hunger. So I end up picking up things that I know I'm not gonna eat later on. I might see a container of muffin and it has 6 in it. I'm like, you know what, I'm craving these muffins now, and not necessarily because I really want it. It's just because I'm hungry and I want to satisfy this hunger right now. So I ended up buying these muffins or taking out one, and then as soon as I kind of satisfy the hunger a bit, then I'm like, oh, shouldn't really buy this because I don't really want it or whatnot. But you kind of buy it right now just to satisfy that hunger, right? So it's kind of the same thing. If I had gone to the supermarket with my belly full, then I would even look on that muffin, right? Because it's not a need. It's not something that I would generally buy, if I'm making sense. And just to back up that tip as well, and if you have kids, ensure that you fill your kids' belly before they go to the supermarket, because we know kids, right? They pick up everything. They want everything. Going to a supermarket is going to like a toy store for them. They want absolutely everything. If them belly full, they might not be wanting so much. Say things to them like, when you go to the supermarket, you only get one thing, right? So ensure that you choose that one thing wisely, and then it will become great parenting because you're to be satisfied with the one thing that they have. But to each his own. Raise your child how you fit. Not a parent, so I can't kind of tell you what to do, but just to save a little money here and there, it's something that I think you may consider. So my second tip, it's a tip that a lot of persons may know but may not be doing it. So I'm just going to bring it up again, and that's reducing the time that you eat out. Thankfully, I'm not a person that eat out a lot, but this is one of the biggest expenses for persons, eating out. You go out, you buy breakfast, you buy lunch, and when you go home, you buy dinner. And you are, and that's about $20 for the entire day that you spend, and you're spending that every single day, right? With the exception maybe of the weekends, or weekends probably even worse, but with the exception of maybe 1 and 2 days. Guys, learn to cook. Guys, if you are living paycheck to paycheck, you need to learn how to cook. Get yourself some cookbook, find a spouse or somebody who like to cook. I don't know, guys, do something. But okay, let's not go to the extreme. You like eating out, right? Everything is a process, everything is a journey. So let's not just move from 1 to 100. So you eat out 3 times daily. Reduce it to 1, reduce it to 2. The other week or the other month you reduce it to 1 until maybe you eliminate another day. Right? So that kind of thing, just work it in your routine. And a lot of persons love coffee. And people get coffee every day. Some people 1 and 2, and they're not even getting a small. They're getting, they're getting mediums and they're getting large. Fine, nothing wrong with that. Your money, do as you please. But I mean, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, some changes need to be made, guys. Changes need to be made. Why not go to the supermarket and buy yourself a container of instant coffee? You go to Starbucks and you're buying coffee for like $3 a day. Sometimes 2. How much money that? And the container of coffee, how much does that cost? May cost less. Not may cost less, it costs less. So guys, think about these little things, because these are areas in which you can grab some money for yourself. Imagine you doing all of these things and then you have a little money in your pocket for yourself. You have a little extra $100 at the end of the month that's spare, that you didn't have a year ago, that you didn't have a month ago. But because you're making these little changes, things are changing, your money habits are changing, right? And you're putting yourself in better financial situations. Step number 3, guys. So we have all heard of the concept of paying ourselves first, and that I think even if you're living paycheck to paycheck, it's a must do. You must have a little emergency fund. You must have a little thing that you can say, if anything should happen, at least I have this over here, right? And it doesn't have to be a lot. Let's say you're making $20,000 a month. Take $100 out of it and put it in the savings account. You at least know, any emergency happen, anything happen, you always feel a sense of security, because you know that you have that money secure, you have that money put aside. You don't touch it any at all if you don't have to. And when I'm saying $20,000, guys, I'm talking Jamaican dollars, because if you're earning $20,000 a month Canadian and you're living paycheck to paycheck, maybe living outside of your means. This is a very important tip or step, and it's a step in the right direction towards financial freedom, right? So definitely, if you even living paycheck to paycheck, guys, consider this. Try your best. And the reason why I say at first, as soon as you get your pay, you ensure that the money is taken out automatically. Set up your savings, your automatic savings account, because if you leave it till last, that $100 that you have, you're gonna find ways and means to spend it. But if you take it out right away, you're there now to work with what you have, and trust me, you will work with what you have. So step number 4 is, let me get straight into it. Use cash instead of debit or even credit card. And why I say cash is that you won't have excess money to do unnecessary or impulsive spending. So when you have the cash, or when you're spending cash, ensure that you're spending, or ensure that you bring with you the exact amount that you need, or maybe a few dollars over, but don't bring a credit card, because credit card has a way of just swiping itself away. You go to the supermarket hungry, and now you're seeing all these things, and you just like swipe, and then at the end of the month you're like, oh, you start praying to Jesus, you start praying to whoever you pray to, right? But when you bring the cash, you bring $1,000, go supermarket, you buy all the things that you need to buy, you go right back home, and you spend within that budget. I feel like credit cards put you in debt faster than anything else, if is it that you're not disciplined, or if you can't manage money properly. If you cannot manage money properly, I don't recommend that you get in a credit card until you have some kind of discipline in that area, because trust me, you will just end up being in debt. You may use your debit card, but debit card has a way of, like, cards in itself has a way of just swiping themselves away. You may say, okay, I want to go to the supermarket and I want to spend $2,000, but then you have your debit card on you, and your debit card of $5,000. You may go over budget, right? But if you want to stick within a certain amount, use your cash. Walk with the exact cash when you're going to the supermarket, and then you're safe. If you walk with your $2,000, then you have no choice but to stick within that budget. But if you have your $5,000, guess what? Chances are you are gonna go over budget because you're gonna see things that you don't necessarily need, but it would have been nice to buy. Whereas you might see things that you may need or whatnot, and you may want to say, oh, you know what, I should have brought my debit card because then I could have gotten it. Just get it and put it on the next budget and work and plan and work like that, Tip number 5, quite obvious, not a lot of persons do it. And that is to budget. Especially, guys, when you're going to the supermarket, you need a budget. It's going when it comes in. And that is why I think a lot of persons live paycheck to paycheck. This is one of the biggest things, because when your money come in, you don't know where your money go. If you have a written budget, you say, okay, you know what, I'm earning this amount of money. Let me take my rent out. Let me take all my expenses out, minus all of that. Do a budget when I'm going to the supermarket. Put how much I need to spend when I'm going to the supermarket for groceries and whatnot. And then you kind of work within that budget. If you go a little over budget, then fine. Work yourself down until you realize that you're sticking within that budget. Guys, we're looking towards financial freedom. We don't have any time to be wasting money these days. And statistics show that one of the places that we waste money more or most is on food. The supermarkets know, because what they put things in place to attract you, right? So when you go and you see certain things, it is there, and the supermarkets themselves are trying to make money, right? So they are going to do it, right? They're not going to say, you know what, that's how I need to save some money, so we'll move this out our way. No, it's going to be there because things are put in place to attract you, to take your money from you, right? Because a business, right? But you have to be smart to know that, hey, let me budget, let me put things in order. I want to be financial free for 2023 and for the years to come. Let me try something new. Can't do the old things all your life and expect different results. Definition of insanity. So let's try budgeting. If you know do nothing else for the people, try budgeting. And guys, for the final tip, it is to get a job, get another job, get a side hustle, use your skills to do something. If you're here, if you can do here, the 1 and 2 here in your community, let them pay you any little means and things that you can do to earn a second income. Do it, as we have so many talents that we don't even know our talents. We have so many skills. Some of us can cook, some of us can bake. Do something. And the thing about it is, a lot of these skills are teachable. You can always learn something new. Life is not just set for you to do one thing and one thing only. If you're doing one thing only and it's something that you love and you're making good profit off it, kudos to you, all the best to you. But for the majority of us, or for most of us, for me, that's not necessarily it. It's always good to have a little more money. But as I mentioned earlier, if is it that you can't manage the little that you have, you will have problems managing the more. So guys, I hope these tips help you for the new year. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying tuned to the end. And if you make it this far in the video, guys, just, do this for 3 months and see how it works out. It may be a little too stringent with your income. I don't know your situation. Everybody's situation different. But nothing tried, nothing done. Things hard, times hard, but we have to find a way to overcome. So until next time, peace and love, guidance and protection. Take care of yourself. Bye.